Every town has them. You know, that house that decorates to the hilt for every holiday.
And likewise, every town has a Karen who wants to complain about it.
And that's what we want to talk about today on the Sonic Boomers podcast.
Episode number 151, our first one for the new year. And this one was actually suggested to us by one of our viewers, Denise, in Old Bridge.
Right. So thank you, Denise.
Thank you, Denise. And you know, when Denise first made her suggestion, she said, do a show about when to put up your decorations and when to take them down. And I thought, well, gee, how do we fill a minimum of 15 minutes with that, let alone the 30 minutes that we usually do on this show? And then Maureen found something on the internet, of course.
So it must be true.
Well, this one,
No, this one definitely
really
is. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
And this concerns a woman in Germantown, Tennessee, who got in trouble for leaving her decorations up too long.
Right. Now, the thing is, she decorated for Halloween.
Right.
And she had a skeleton and a skeleton dog, among other things. But that was the main thing. And she left them up. And come Christmas time, she put a Santa hat on the skeleton and decorated the dog like an elf or something. And the town didn't approve. They said that she left up her Halloween decorations too long.
Right. The town says that their ordinance in Germantown, Tennessee, is that holiday decorations can go up no sooner than 45 days prior to the holiday and can be up no later than 30 days after the holiday.
Right.
Which I think is pretty generous.
It's pretty reasonable. But again, I don't think it needs to be a town ordinance. You know, I think people should be able to decorate how they want.
Yeah, I don't think she needs to be in court over this.
Exactly.
And apparently there have been a number of organizations who have come forth to aid her in her legal defense. There's an organization called the Institute for Justice. I have no idea who they are, what they are, but they have kind of taken this under their wing. This is from, Matthew Prensky is the author of the article. The dateline is Arlington, Virginia, although the story, as I said, is actually taking place in Germantown, Tennessee. It says, today, the Institute for Justice condemns the city of Germantown, Tennessee, for its brazen violation of Americans' free speech rights after it cited Alexis Luttrell, a Germantown resident, for violating the city's sign code. Her supposed crime? Incorporating Halloween decorations like skeletons into her Christmas yard display. But the Institute for Justice cases from over a decade show that officials across the country regularly abuse ordinary Americans by acting like the speech police. Well, I don't know if I necessarily go along with that. I don't see this as a First Amendment infraction by government. It's just government and maybe your local Karen who went to the town government unable to mind its own business and stay out of things that really shouldn't concern them. Right. Unless the thing really becomes an eyesore.
Yeah. Now, see, the thing is, to me, if the law is on the books and you're living in that town, I think you kind of have to abide by it.
Yeah.
If it's just some malcontents complaining, then I think you've got more of a leg to stand on. But if there's an actual ordinance, I don't know that you have much recourse other than to abolish the ordinance.
I think the ordinance is very reasonable. Putting them up 30 days before the holiday.
45 before,
45
30
before,
after.
30 after. That's very reasonable. That's very reasonable. And I just don't think that it's a free speech issue.
I'm not so sure.
I mean, what are you
that.
saying? What are you saying in putting up Christmas decorations? I like Christmas. I'm celebrating Christmas. Putting up Halloween. I like Halloween. I'm celebrating Halloween. But I don't think that's a speech issue.
But it's an expression of yourself. You should be able to express yourself as long as you're not hurting anybody.
I put it in the same category as the people who don't mow their lawns. Mm-hmm. And comes summertime, the lawn is up to your knees, and now the township has to come in and send you a letter and say, look, either you cut this or we'll cut it for you and send you the bill.
Right.
And I put this in the same category. It's not my freedom of speech to say, well, I'm saying I like lawns that are knee high. I'm saying that I want my neighborhood to look like crap. You're not saying anything.
No, I don't think
and I don't
the
think
same.
she's saying anything.
I think she is. I think letting
It's
the lawn.
It's a decoration.
It's a decoration, and that's an expression. That's creativity on your part, and that's decor. Letting your lawn grow is negligence. That's different.
Oh, I don't know. I think we're going to hear from the Society of People Who Like Long Lawns. Overgrown Lawns of America. We'll be stepping up to the plate. I just think it's reasonable in this case.
I think the time frame is reasonable, but I don't think that she needs to be dragged into court over this.
No.
And, I'm kind of on her side with, like, you want to make a fuss, I'll give you something to fuss about. That's just the way I am. That's how I roll.
I think that you should be able to put up, within reason, the kind of decorations that you like. And if you like really over the top decorating, and, here in our development, there are a few houses that go in 125% on decorations, especially for Christmas and for Halloween. And they're fun.
Yeah.
They're fun. Everybody likes to walk by or drive by and have fun. In fact, the one family that has the big Halloween decoration, they had a sign up that says, have fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy the decoration. Celebrate Halloween. And I'm fine with that.
I am too.
It's not that it's a big display. It's an ostentatious display. That I don't have a problem with. There's a time when you kind of need to take these down now.
I'm sure that, taking him down in a timely fashion is a good idea.
Like our neighbors here.
Right.
The decorations are down like within a couple of weeks after the holiday is gone. People go out and they take them down.
Pretty much, yeah.
Now, I'm not talking about the person that just has like little lights along their rain gutter and they leave it up all year and they just light the thing at Christmas time. That's,
right.
That's fine. But when you've got big skeletons and
the blow ups and the inflatables,
there's a time when they need to go up and a time when they need to come down.
I'm sure that's the case to some degree, but again, who is it hurting?
It's annoying the hell out of Karen.
Karen would be annoyed no matter what.
Karen's pretty upset about that.
But I think, if you have to look at it, like the decorations are a draw to your community. People love them for the most part when they're up, and they enjoy, like you said, driving by, bringing the kids by, taking pictures, and all that. And I don't think that the government should be butting into that. I really don't.
No. Again, until they've been up too long. I mean, look at it this way. This woman put up, Miss Luttrell, put up her Halloween decorations in October. Now we're into Christmas. Now we've gone through November and practically the end of December.
Right. But look at it this way. Here we go.
Yeah.
Put them up in October. Halloween's the very end of October. So if you're going by the town ordinance, she really has till November 30th to take down her Halloween decorations for the 30 days after Halloween. By November 30th, people are putting up their Christmas decorations because a lot of people choose to wait till Thanksgiving and right after Thanksgiving, they put up the Christmas. By putting the Santa things on her skeletons, she's now into the 45 days before Christmas window. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then she has till the end of January, technically, for the 30 days after to take them down. But the end of January is only 2 weeks away from Valentine's Day. So she can now start her Valentine's Day window.
Put some little hearts.
Put some hearts on
the
them.
skeleton.
That's what she was doing. That's what she was doing.
Yeah.
So now, the end of, let's say, February, so like mid-March, end of March, is the end of the Valentine's window. So then maybe you start Easter.
Now, how do you decorate skeletons for Easter?
Put some Easter baskets. Let them hold an Easter basket with Easter eggs. Put some bunny ears on them. I don't know. But
or maybe you put some dead skeleton bunnies.
Hide the eggs into the skeleton's intestines. I don't know. But I'm saying is like the time frames overlap in such a way that she could technically argue and probably win that she did not violate.
Well, from window to window, she's got 75 days. 30 days before the holiday,
right.
45 days after the holiday.
Right.
That's a 75-day window.
Right. But by adding to it, it becomes a new decoration. So it's no longer a Halloween decoration that's been left up. It's now my Christmas decorations are out.
Maybe Karen is complaining that they're skeletons.
Well,
that the skeletons have been up for 60 or 70 days or something.
But, who says what's allowed in that regard, you know?
I mean, I think there's a certain amount of whimsy to it.
Yeah.
Keeping the skeletons up. And as long as it's not up for an almost indeterminate amount of time, I think that at some point you got to take them down. You can't leave those skeletons up there or blow up chicken or whatever it is you've got out there.
Right.
You can't leave it up year round.
No, not year round. Definitely not. But I think that for the purpose of this case in Germantown, I think that there is a real precedent here that could be argued. And I'm not a lawyer, and I don't even play one on TV, but from a layman's point of view, it would seem to me that if you're going to go by the letter of the law with the 45 days and the 30 days, that she would still fall within her rights.
I'm looking at a picture of her display. I don't know how well this is going to show on camera.
Maybe you can insert it later too.
Maybe you can, we'll do it on B-roll or something. But it's not a big ostentatious display unless it's been cropped.
Yeah. No, it was not the amount of decorations that seemed to be the problem. It was the subject matter, I believe.
Yeah.
Just going from, all I know is what is in these articles. I don't have any firsthand knowledge of it or anything like that. But it's, it seemed to be more of a thing with not changing it. And skeletons, I mean, let's face it, most of the time you do associate that with Halloween and not the other holidays. But I just think it's kind of funny at this point and kind of, she's kind of poking at them now.
She's poking the bear.
Yeah.
Poking the bear. The trouble with that is the town usually wins.
Mm-hmm.
It's the old saying, you can't fight City Hall.
Yeah. Now, on a different note, what do you have any thoughts about? We were talking about ostentatious displays. Like, is there too much?
I've seen displays where there is almost no room to walk on the lawn.
Right.
And I think the one consideration that has to be made, if you have a really ostentatious property devouring display is safety.
Yes.
Being able to get emergency responders into the house, God forbid, should they be necessary,
Right.
or if you have a fire and you have to get out of the house, you don't want to have to claw your way through a maze
Yes.
of holiday decorations.
I would agree with that.
The other thing is sometimes the lighting can be a problem. If you have a really brilliantly lit display, well, what if that light is coming into somebody's bedroom window? To which I would say, well, that's why God created Venetian blinds. That's why God made shades.
Right.
Okay. But somebody could cite that as, well, it's disturbing my peace.
My piece,
It's like,
yeah. And the other thing that you'd have to, I guess, concern with as far as the safety is that they're all well wired, that there's no shorts in the wiring or something that could spark and cause a fire. So in that regard, I would say that those kind of things have to be considered. I think when there's like so much there, it's hard to really get to see everything and enjoy it. But I don't have if that's what they want to do, that's fine. My personal taste is for something a little more sedate and well designed and decor wise, and coordination of the lights and maybe a few blow ups or maybe a nice wreath in the spotlight. That's my personal aesthetic. But I also enjoy riding by and seeing these houses
seeing
that
the
have
Griswolds home.
and seeing that. I mean, that I wouldn't have the patience. I wouldn't have the ability to put out all of that stuff. But when somebody else does it, I can enjoy it.
Oh, I do too. I do too. And if it's big and ostentatious, I think it's fun.
Yeah,
I think it's
do
fun.
too.
But if it is big and ostentatious, that time is going to come where it needs to come down.
Right.
Even if you're like this woman is doing, repurposing some of the things, all well and good. But when it's the middle of June and Santa is still out there or the skeleton is still there, it's time.
It's time.
It's time.
Definitely.
So, and I think our practice here, the holidays that we decorate for, we do Christmas, St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, and Halloween.
Right.
And those are the 4 that we decorate for. If we're doing the Christmas decorations, I like to get them up after Thanksgiving, and we leave our Christmas decorations up until Epiphany.
Right. It's January 6th
January
usually.
6th. Halloween, I'll put them up on October 1st.
Beginning of October, yeah.
And when Halloween is done, so are the decorations. I'm out there the next day pulling them in and boxing them up. And the same thing with St. Patrick's Day. We've got little lawn thingies that we put out, and we've got lights that we put in the windows. And maybe the month of St. Patrick's Day, we'll put them up because ours are going up soon, obviously. And then when St. Patrick's Day is done the day after, I get them down.
Right. Or at least we just don't light them.
We don't light them. Yeah.
So we get them all down. Yeah.
And I'll pull the little leprechauns off the front lawn or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, I think what we're saying is live and let live. And
yeah.
Basically. And, I think that the government has enough things that they should be worrying about.
You think so?
I don't think they really have to worry about whether somebody's got a skeleton on their lawn for too long.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, deal with the crime, deal with the gangbangers, deal with the drug pushers.
Yeah. leave Mrs. Luttrell alone.
Leave Mrs. Luttrell alone. You really, when you do this kind of crap, you really spoil people's quality of life, I think.
You spoil the fun.
To some degree.
Spoil the fun of the holidays.
So, work on the big problems.
Yes,
definitely. And Karen, you've got other fish to fry too. Don't worry about your neighbor's decorate unless they're really up there too long, like I said.
Okay.
So, hey, listen, if you have any thoughts about holiday decorations, you can always leave us a comment down below because we read every comment that comes in. And every once in a while, one does pour in. And we like to respond to it almost immediately. We've got some really good shows coming up in the future because we had quite a few suggestions from our viewers that are in the pipeline. Maureen and I actually have a book now called The Pipeline, and we've got all our show ideas. So hopefully we'll have more shows coming out more frequently and more input from you, our listeners and viewers. So there you go. That's program number 151.
All right.
And until the next time, I am still Pete Torriello.
And as far as I know, I'm still Maureen Torriello.
Yeah, you kind of look like her. Goodbye. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to the Sonic Boomers podcast.